Welcome back to the Thrive Podcast, number one podcast in the Midwest.
Yes, it is.
You already know.
I'm your host,
Hey,
Carissa. I'm with Deb and Danielle, my double D's.
Hey.
Support the sisters.
Sisters safe and secure.
Sisters safe and secure.
And I'm looking forward to this podcast today. We have our friend Tina,
Yes,
who
Tina.
we work with at work. And we work for the good doctor.
Yes.
But I'm looking forward to this conversation today because we're going to talk a little bit about Tina's journey and some things that she's had to deal with in the past year or two. When did it start?
About a year and a half.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's this interesting fun fact?
Fun fact.
You taught my cousin Ruthie first grade.
Yes.
She was a
Ooh.
teacher for a while. And then you came and you worked with us. When did you start working with us?
November of 2019.
Yeah. Best day
remember
ever.
that. I remember it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, who is this?
and
I came back from school and I was like, what up, Tina?
Yeah. Tina, what's a fun fact about yourself that you can tell us
A fun fact.
that most people wouldn't know?
Oh, I don't feel like I'm very funny,
Oh.
but
Tina.
well,
you
just a
are
fun
funny.
fact.
A fun
I know
fact,
you
like
are
a fun
funny.
What's
fact.
something
What's
that no
it-
one else knows?
Yeah.
Well,
just an interesting
we went-
quality or random
I don't know. I mean,
thing.
I love people, but when I was a teenager, we went to California. We went
Yeah.
to Universal Studios,
Yeah.
and they were filming Chevy Chase's show.
Stop it.
Yeah, and
She was in it. No, I'm just kidding.
no, I wasn't, but
Celebrity in the house.
I mean,
Okay.
Chevy Chase came up the aisle.
Stop it.
And I had my camera, so I was going to take a picture
Yes,
as
you
he's
were.
walking by.
Yes, you
Of
were.
course. He looked right at me, I swear.
Stop.
No.
He
And
said, "Hey,
smiled.
cutie."
He did.
She
He
got
said, "Hey,
starstruck.
he said, hey, cutie."
and Tina started selfies. back
Okay.
when-
Yes. Okay,
Yeah,
you
there's
know,
a
but he did. He
was
looked right at me,
starstruck.
smiled. I mean, he knew I was taking his picture.
You didn't
with
get
me.
a picture with him.
I
did
love
you?
it.
That's so cool.
I did not.
But you got a picture of him?
I did.
Okay.
Oh.
Looking
And-
right at you.
And when our mall opened, where I'm from Topeka, Kansas.
Okay.
Yes.
And
Yes, no
Vanna
place like home.
White.
Wherever that is.
Yes. Close to Kansas City.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, Vanna White was there to help
Vanna White.
Vanna White. And so I
White.
did get to meet Vanna White. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, she
okay.
said yes.
Yes. So, I mean, those are the only things that I
Wow.
can think of that are people most.
She's in the know with
But,
the celebs.
Like
over
we've
here.
worked
Wow,
well. I've
look at
never
Tina
heard those
go.
stories.
Wow.
So interesting.
See, that's what
The
you gotta
things
ask. You gotta
learn.
ask the right questions.
I know.
Marissa.
And you asked
gotta
the right
ask the right
questions.
questions.
Clearly.
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
I'm just not
Definitely.
good.
I know. What do you want to ask next? Need some cue cards.
Yeah, okay. Like Vanna, help me.
That's super cool. I
Yes.
love that.
Yeah.
Thanks
Yeah.
for sharing.
Good
Hey,
Yeah.
you're welcome.
It's good, like on your feet, like you're like, I got it.
Well, that's the
know.
only thing I could think of that was funny.
No, it's cool. It's a cool,
no, that was
interesting
a good
fact.
story.
Yeah, I like it.
So you came and you worked with us in 2019.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah. And then our lives have never been the same.
They have.
We
not.
love working with you, by the way.
Oh.
Definitely
you,
love
you do
coming in to
add
see
so
you, Tina.
much. And the people love you, the patients. I
Yes.
said this before, but you're just so nice and
Yeah.
really take the time, and they know you care, and you do.
I try.
Yeah.
I
And you
really
do.
Yeah.
And you add a lot to the atmosphere of the office.
Yes.
You're always encouraging, loving.
I was laughing at the jokes.
Yeah.
yeah.
And sometimes
You
you
make me
come off
think I'm funny.
with some quick ones, and I'm like, whoa, did
Yeah,
you just
yeah,
say that?
She
I
really
know.
does.
Like,
And
all
you
the
have some
time.
good
True.
comebacks,
That's true.
Tina.
I never expect it. Never.
That's true.
Well, I do try to be quiet and just kind of mind my own business, making sure I'm doing what I'm supposed
But
to
the humor
do.
just bubbles up, and
Sometimes
it's
it
just
just
like
rolls
it
off
does
the tongue.
every
Has to
once
come
in a
out.
while. When
It
you're
has to
around
come out.
people
You're a
like
jokester,
this.
Tina. You're a jokester.
I don't think so, but
up here, even doing videos.
all
with us.
natural. I know.
Even doing videos.
That's still my favorite video.
Putting some foil on everywhere of
for that tiki-taki
wearing
we
foil everywhere. Really,
look, I was not going to be
doing
left out of the fun.
No, you were
You
not.
wanted to
and
be in that.
I did.
yes,
Yeah,
and I'm
you
so
did.
glad. And it was literally is my favorite video we've
That
done.
That
is
was so funny.
Such a good one.
That
Yeah.
was
Such
a good
fun.
one.
I don't
That
know
was
why, but
fun.
I do like that one.
Yeah.
And that was fun to do.
It was.
It really
Doing the
was.
whole
Yeah. It
was
foil.
fun.
We're on TikTok, by the way.
Well,
in case you're wondering what we're
yeah,
talking
we'll
about.
we can like, add that somewhere.
Our crowns.
The crowns.
We took foil, we took
breastplates.
tin foil, and remade.
Yes.
We made our
we
own
did our own
costumes.
video.
Yes,
We made our own costumes
That was
out of
that was
aluminum
fun.
foil.
That's what we do.
It was. So then let's just sort of fast forward a little bit to, I know you had a conversation with Chris, our head nurse at the time, and you had some concerns. So let's sort of just talk about that on what did you discover and why? Like
Okay.
what made you have that conversation with Chris?
Yeah.
Well, I knew something wasn't right,
Yeah.
Okay.
but I did not share it with anybody. Honestly, I didn't even share it with my husband. One day at work, though, Chris and I were both back in the back where I had started, and she looked over. We were talking a little bit, and she looked over at me, and she said, well, you know, she's like, how old are you? And I said, well, you know, I'm 50, you know, whatever. And she said, oh, it's time for you to get, you know, a mammo.
Yeah.
And I just kind of smiled, but I thought, okay, you know,
Yeah.
sure, whatever. But it was through that, her bringing that up, I knew something was wrong. But I also knew she gave me comfort.
How did you know something was wrong? Like what? Did you just have a feeling or did you?
Well, there were signs.
There were signs.
There
Yeah.
were signs.
Yeah.
And I
Okay.
knew.
Yeah.
And so I asked, I just, that her telling me that just would not get out of my head.
Yeah.
And so I
Do you
said,
have any family history of cancer? by the
my
way?
mom had cancer. She
Okay.
she was diagnosed when she was 43.
Oh wow.
What kind did she have?
I breast. It
Okay.
started with breast cancer, and she was in remission for 13 years. And then when it came back, it came back pretty strong.
Wow.
Okay.
Different areas in the brain, and
Oh wow. Just
so
spread.
yeah.
Oh,
So
I'm sorry.
we did lose her.
Oh,
And
how
that
old
was
she?
that was
Sorry.
devastating for me because I was always away. I didn't really know a whole lot about it because I was either in college or then Steve and I, my husband, we got
Okay.
married and we lived up here in Indiana or Arkansas, but not at home. So I knew she, you know, had her treatments and stuff, but I just didn't know a lot about it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I did not get to spend a lot of time with her going through
so
that,
sorry.
and I wish I would have.
Sure.
Now,
Oh
you know.
yeah, absolutely.
But anyway, so one day I got up the nerve, and it truly was the nerve. And I
Yeah.
said, Chris, you know, can we go to lunch together? I'd like to talk to you about some things. And I made it sort of a work issue. And she's like, oh, sure, you know, and she understood everything. And so we took
And
a
she's
lunch.
the best to talk to anyway.
She
She
is.
just
Oh, yeah.
really
She's-
puts you at ease.
She
and-
does. She's very comforting. In fact, she was the first and probably really the only person that I knew I could talk to and be honest.
Yeah.
You know,
Good.
Because you trusted her.
I did.
Yeah.
Versus
And you need
did.
those kind of
such a
people.
big-
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
you guys went out.
we did.
Okay.
I will tell you this though. Before I went to lunch with her, I finally told my husband that
Oh, okay.
there was something.
Okay. What did he say?
He said okay, and you know anyway, he said okay. I mean, I don't know how opening I can be about this, but he
can-
wanted
you can
to
say anything.
see it, feel
Yeah.
it, you know,
Yeah.
because obviously there was something, and he said okay, I think you need to do that.
Yeah.
I had been hiding it from him this whole time.
Were you scared about something, or did you
Yes,
just
I
not-
mean, because obviously
not
I had
think-
lost my mom.
Sure.
And I had kids. You know, you when you're a parent, you start thinking about all the things that they're going to need. And
Right.
I knew how much I missed her.
Right.
Even though we lived miles apart, I knew how much I missed her and,
Yeah.
you know, my dad and just,
Sure.
you know,
Right.
Oh.
And you have 3 kids.
3 kids.
Yeah.
My ABCs, Ashley, Brian, and Craig.
Aw,
Yeah,
that's cute.
so- yeah.
That is cute.
Yeah. So
How old are they?
What's that the teacher
Oh
knew?
goodness. Ashley's a nurse and she's 24 and she's started working
She just
with
started
us.
working with
Yeah,
us.
she
Yes.
did.
Yes.
Yes.
And then Brian is Deb's age. They were in the same
Class
grade.
together. Yeah, we graduated together.
So he's 22.
22?
22?
I just turned 22.
Okay, so 22, and then Craig's my baby, and he's going to be a senior this year. But yeah,
They grow up so fast,
they
don't
do.
they?
Oh man, like weeds. But anyway,
So this is all going through your mind.
right. All of this is going through my mind. I'm scared, but
Yeah.
I was at such peace finally that I actually spoke about it.
Yeah.
So Chris and I went to lunch. We talked about work at first, and I think that's really what she thought we were talking about,
Yeah.
and it was. There were some important things.
Uh-huh.
And then I said, Chris, I need to talk to you about something else.
Okay.
And I told her
Yeah.
that there was a lump.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, after that, my life just went on. It
Yeah.
just started rolling.
Yeah.
She said, I mean, she got serious.
Yeah. Yeah.
She does.
She
too.
does.
got serious.
She don't play.
She's like,
Okay.
Okay.
She don't play.
Yeah.
The game plan
yeah,
together.
like, yes, got out
You
the
need to do
paper,
this
the
now.
pen, and she started, okay, you need to do this first. I mean, she wrote it all out for me pretty much. She's
Yeah.
the one that,
Yeah.
she didn't force me to do anything, but she
Right.
said, this is what you
Just
need to do.
Yeah.
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 So, and then, it just steamrolled from there. And the next thing I know, I am getting the mammogram.
Now, did you see? So you got the mammo.
Yes.
Did you see doctor after that, or did they send you?
Well, I did see doctor.
the doctor we work
We
for.
worked
Yeah.
for. Because he was going to do the surgery anyway.
Right.
Oh, okay.
If anything.
Okay.
Well, I had the biopsy. And
Yeah.
sure enough, even though I knew in my mind it was probably cancer, it was diagnosed
Yeah.
officially
Cancer. Yes.
as
Yeah.
cancer. So, yes, I saw a doctor and he was going to do the surgery. And of course, after working with him now for a short time,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and knowing how he dealt with other people, I mean, the Lord just gave me peace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
That's
everything
incredible,
was
yeah.
such a
Good.
godsend.
Yeah.
Chris was a godsend for me.
Yeah.
I truly believe God put her back in my life
Yeah.
for this.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
it may be
So good.
selfish sounding to some degree, but I know He put her in my life for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And I think
And
that's
you needed that.
incredible.
Yeah.
You
That's
needed that.
incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then after the mammogram, then
The biopsy and then
the biopsy.
eventually we had the surgery.
Right.
yeah.
And of course, at that time, it was funny. This part I think is still funny because I was I had surgery and then I had started doing treatments. And I was at one of my treatments one day, and unfortunately, my numbers went down a little bit. So they're like, okay, you need to put a mask on, and everything. So I took a picture of myself and I sent it to everybody at work.
Yeah,
And they were like, oh, Krista was like, the masked singer or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
that's awesome.
I forgot about that.
I'm the one that started that because
Okay,
COVID,
trendsetter.
Yes.
Yes. So this timeline, when did this all start? When did you get that biopsy? Was this
Well,
last year?
I was officially diagnosed in December of 2019.
19. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
January probably was the biopsy, and then
Yeah.
it wasn't too long after
When you started
I had chemo first.
Okay.
I went through all those
Right.
treatments.
Yeah.
Then surgery.
Yeah.
What was it like for you when you knew you had to do chemo? Were you afraid at all? How did you feel about that?
At that point, no. Now, let me back up a little bit. The reason why I was partly hesitant to even talk about it was because there was a time when I didn't want to do any kind of medicines.
Yeah.
like
I-
palliative care.
I did not want to, I just, because you don't know. I mean,
Yeah. And this is new.
Yeah,
This is, it's not like you've been through a
I knew
serious
it-
illness.
right?
Like this before?
Now, granted, my mom's cancer
Sure.
was 20 years ago. Well,
But medicine
there weren't
changes.
advances.
Yeah, this is
Right?
modern medicine.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
much different now,
every
I'm
day.
sure.
Right.
And Chris and Doctor were so kind about it, but
Yeah.
this is what you need to do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and I just felt at ease.
Like,
Yeah.
okay, this is what we're doing.
This is
we're
what
going
we're doing.
forward.
Yes,
Yeah.
this is what you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so we did it. I mean,
Yeah.
And yes, I was scared to death, but I knew then I needed to have this done.
Yeah.
And when did you have your actual surgery? So you had a mastectomy.
I did. I had a bilateral. They went ahead and did both
Yep.
because, they're thankful they did, and I'm thankful they did because they realized after the surgery that, it could have been 5-10 years later,
Right.
but
Yeah,
it
the
eventually would have went
Cells
through.
would have traveled. And
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I do remember my mom only had one, and I think eventually, I don't know if
Yeah.
she had the other one removed, but eventually, I think that was not helpful.
It was a
for her.
reoccurrence.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I honestly don't remember the official date.
Oh,
on
that's
that
okay.
one.
No, the month. What month did you have that surgery? Do you remember?
Let's see. Chemo went for 4 months.
Okay.
So January,
Yeah.
February, March, April.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think.
So this is like right after COVID.
Yes,
Yeah.
Started
COVID had
getting
started.
so.
Yeah.
So COVID was actually kind of a friend to me because it allowed me to be at home a lot.
Okay.
And that
Yeah.
because I did not want to talk about this.
Right.
Yes, and you know what? Within your community, friends, family, I know some close to you knew it, and that's okay. And I think when it helps us and just people in general when people are going through things like this, like just give them their space, and not that they're going through it, but if you feel like someone's acting weird about something, or or you just suspect that something's going on in their life, just
Yeah.
care about them and just support them.
Yeah, reach out to
because you don't
them
know what
or-
people are going
Exactly.
through, and that's their right to not bring it out to light and sort of deal with it themselves and not talk about it. If they don't want to talk about it, that's every right of theirs. So
Right.
I just feel like just supporting people in general.
Yes.
No matter, because you don't know what they're going through, and there's going to be a good many people within your community and surroundings that don't know.
Right.
Right.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
That's 100% okay.
And many still don't. I mean, obviously these ladies do because I
Yeah.
work with them.
Right.
But that's been probably the best medicine for me because we do have a lot of fun and we laugh and
Yeah.
so many times going to treatments and different things. The main thing I heard was stay positive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody told me stay positive.
Yeah.
And so I have tried to stay positive, and it
Yeah.
helps.
Yeah. Did you ever have moments where mentally, or did it ever overwhelm you, or did you ever face any fears through this, or did you feel?
Absolutely, sure. I know when I went for my, I forget what it's called now, but where they had to do like the CAT scan,
The PET scan.
thing
Yeah.
of just
Yeah,
this area.
right. Yes.
My husband went with me, and he has Crohn's disease, and he's even had surgery where they had to remove,
Yeah.
some of his intestines and everything. So
Yeah.
he's had the health medical things,
Yes.
and I was always fine,
Yeah.
and I liked taking care of him. And I do remember after that was done, because it was very uncomfortable the way that they
Yeah.
do those.
Yeah.
And we were done, and we're walking down the hallway, and he was comforting me and everything. And all I remember is saying to him, and he knew I was joking, but I said, "But I sure liked it when you were sick because I liked helping you."
Roles
But he
reversed.
was sweet, and I
Yeah.
said, "I'm kidding." But
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, there were times,
Yeah.
I was scared to death of the biopsy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I knew some of the things that were going to happen, and that scared me half to death. But the people that I have been able to have these procedures and things with have been
Yeah.
top notch.
Yeah.
They've been
Wonderful.
sweet.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
were
That's
so
caring.
good.
Tina, we know you're in the best care that
Yeah.
you could be in.
That's what I was thinking, like, even through that whole
Yeah.
process. I remember
Yeah.
just being so thankful that she was at the office with us. I was like, because if
Yeah.
it would have happened another time, then, I mean, who knows who you would have ended up with and stuff and how it all
Exactly.
would have
Yeah.
gone then. But,
Exactly
like, at
right.
least she's here and we could just get on the ball with it,
Yeah,
with things.
good.
Oh, yeah.
And
we
you're
can
definitely in
help
good
you.
hands.
We have great resources, and we
Yeah.
want to help you. We want to make sure that you have the best care ever.
Yeah. And they do. I mean, it's really one of the best places I can be. I'm surrounded by caring people all the time.
We support
I
you,
mean,
Tina. We support you. We're your fans.
Yeah.
Or better than a bra.
Support those
Those
sisters.
don't always support, man. It just depends how well made they are.
Yeah.
That is true.
They're secure.
Yeah.
They're safe and secure.
So, and this may seem like a silly question, but I know there's going to be people out there wondering and thinking in their head. Okay, so being married or even having a partner, when you're having to face both of them being removed, is that something that you had a concern about, or were you worried about?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me tell you why. Again, it goes back to my mom. Her and my family had come down to visit us when we lived in Hot Springs, Arkansas, and they have the best hot baths down there.
Yeah.
Well, we all went to have the massage and the hot bath and everything, and they give you towels and show you wrapped up, and
Yeah.
somehow her towel had fallen over. Well, I obviously had not seen her before, but what I saw kind of scared me and devastated me.
Really?
Yes. And I just thought I don't ever want that. I don't.
Oh,
But let me tell you, it happening to me, my husband, I mean, I think he loves me more. I mean,
I love
You
that
know,
so much.
That is so good.
he's so understanding.
Yeah.
And nothing about my changes has changed how he feels about
Oh,
me.
that's so good.
Oh.
That
I
is
love that.
really good.
I mean,
That is unconditional love.
it is.
I mean, that's how it should
really
be.
is.
Yeah, it
but
should be like
I know
that.
it's still us as women, girls. I know those things do
Yeah.
come in our head.
It's a type of insecurity
concern.
that we have. You
Yes.
know,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
is this
Well,
going to affect
100%.
the relationship? And
Right. Well,
Yes.
and not only that area, but obviously I was gonna lose my hair.
Right.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
was devastating
Yeah.
for me.
But you came
I
in
loved
looking
your
real cute with that wig.
Yeah.
Real cute.
Listen,
Real cute.
you.
She
yes.
said, "Hey."
I did. And y'all didn't even notice it first.
No, I didn't.
No.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, that
I
was
know.
so
But
fun.
my husband, he
yeah.
because I
That's so
kind of
good.
tried to hide it even at home from my kid. They knew about it.
Yeah.
But I didn't want them to see me like that. But it came to a point where I realized they love me.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm mom or I'm Steve's wife, and
Yeah.
they didn't care about that.
Yeah.
They loved
That's
me.
really good.
you know?
Yes.
I love that so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's special.
good.
Yeah, it is.
It's so helpful to have such a good support system.
Yes, it is.
And I love how, I mean, you've told us about Steve, and I just love how supportive but that, I
Yeah.
mean, that's true.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true to who he is and who you both are as a couple. And I just love that so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
So
we all need a Steve.
Yes.
Okay.
yes.
I love it. That's
Stove.
really good.
Stove.
anyway,
Kind of name is Stove.
so,
That's so funny.
so you had the surgery, everything, you're healing, coming
Yes.
back.
Yeah.
And then after that, sort of go into just other things that you've had to, just challenges or things
Okay.
you've had to face there.
Now, I was ready for the surgery. I was prepared. I will say it was very painful. I'm not going to lie. Probably, I've had a few other surgeries since then, and that was probably the one I would not ever want to do again.
Yeah.
But it was the right thing.
Yeah.
And I knew I was in the right hands.
Right.
And then eventually, when I had my surgery, I knew I wanted plastic surgery. And so they put in the spacers.
Yeah.
And that's to help stretch the skin for implants a little later.
Right.
And so, those have been fine. I did have to go back in for surgery, and I was scared because I thought, oh no, it kind of hurt so bad. And the first thing I asked the doctor that was going to do that, Dr. Schneider, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but I just said, how painful is this going to be?
Yeah.
And she just totally comforted me, and she said, this will not be like that. Now, I want to add in real quick. I have a cousin back in Kansas that we found out we had been diagnosed about the same time. We both
wow.
have cancer.
Wow.
And so we kind of went through things
journey
together,
together.
but backwards. It was
Yeah.
weird. The way I did
Sure,
it, she
yeah.
was doing it the other way. And
Okay.
anyway, but she was a comfort to me. She had her surgery first and then chemo and things like that.
Okay.
And she just told me, yes, it is painful, but 2 weeks you're going to start feeling better. So again, I lucked out by having somebody I knew that I could talk to.
That's so nice.
Right.
Yeah.
And that could relate to
Yes,
your situation.
exactly.
Yeah.
Perfectly
Yeah.
relate.
And it
to
kind of
me.
eased your nerves a little bit, kind of
Yes.
to know what to expect a
Because
little
even
bit.
though, I mean, not everyone has to completely understand you. It is always nice to have at least one person. You're like,
Yeah.
I've been
Absolutely.
there, or I'm going through it with you, or whatever.
Exactly.
You know?
Because you can't really truly understand what someone's going through unless you've gone through it themselves.
Right,
Absolutely.
right,
Or
right.
yourself.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that 100%
Yes,
has to
definitely.
help.
Yes.
And that you can relate on so many other levels.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because of what you're going through.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I admired her because she was all out there on social media. Her and her husband shaved their heads together.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And she showed her head bald as can be, but she was fine,
Yeah.
and she was happy. And I was glad that she could do that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
sometimes I thought, man, maybe I should, but I just wasn't
But
there,
This
Yeah,
is
and
you,
that's okay.
and this is your journey.
Right.
Yes.
And yeah.
Yeah.
No regrets, man. Because
Yeah.
because everyone does deal with whatever they're going through differently. And I think
Yes.
that's beautiful about our uniqueness as
Yes.
Right.
individuals.
Right.
And so yeah, absolutely.
Well, and I'm one of those that I did. If I knew if I said something at church or on social media, all you're
would
going to
spread
hear is,
and-
"Oh, I'm so sorry."
So
Oh, I'm
sorry,
And
yeah.
honestly, can I say that hearing, "Oh, I'm so sorry," is really not the right thing to say.
Yeah, and I have to agree with you on that, Tina. It's very hard when you hear that because you don't really know what to say back. You're like,
I know, you're
thank
like-
you.
Yeah.
What you don't know how to follow up with that because
Yeah.
it wasn't your fault.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
That's what I was going to
And-
ask you is what are
Yeah.
things you do say? or
yes.
don't you
because
like
people
hearing-
don't know what to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
I'm
you know.
praying for you.
Like saying you're praying for someone, like that is very comforting. It's
Yes.
just, thank you for praying for
Yes.
me. Thank you for your kind words.
Yes.
But when you I don't know when
I'm
people
sorry
say
is
I'm
almost
sorry is
on the negative side in a sense. I know
Yeah, I
they
get
have
you.
a heart of gold and they don't mean it that way.
know.
but
Yeah.
It's almost the concept, oh yeah, you have cancer. Oh
Right.
yeah, you have cancer. Whenever
Right.
you hear, oh, I'm so sorry, you know you have cancer.
it's just another reminder.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's not to say like it's a bad reminder, but because it's part of your journey and it's something that you grow from, but it's also a part of you don't want to constantly think about it in a negative
Exactly.
way because you're trying to think positive and I'm feeling great today. I'm feeling awesome.
Right.
I've got this.
Yes.
And then it's a small insecurity that's inside of you. And when someone brings it up, you're like, oh, roadblock.
yeah.
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 You don't know how to react and you just
Yeah.
think, yep, all right, I've got, this happening. And then you start thinking about everything that's happened within the last couple
Right.
months. And
Right.
Honey, everything you need is in your pocket. Darling, this is what you've been waiting